morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a good day. Today I'm gonna be making one of my favorite soup, vegetable soup. I'm gonna be making it with spinach today. Spinach is one of my favorite vegetables to use in making vegetable soup. I usually use ugu leaves, but when I tried spinach, I stuck to it. Yeah, some people find it hard using spinach because it generates a lot of fluid. But here's the secret to having a tasty vegetable soup with spinach. When you get the spinach, put it in a bag and put it in the freezer for a couple of days. And then or even if it's for 1 week or 1 month, whenever you want to use it, bring it out, soak it in water, make sure it defrosts, and then squeeze out the fluids. Squeeze out all the water inside it. Here's the secret to having a very tasty vegetable soup with spinach, because some people complain that when they use spinach in making their vegetable soup, it ends up so watery because spinach usually generates a lot of fluid. But this is how I go about mine. When I get the spinach from the store, I put it in the freezer for 3 to 5 days. If I want to use it, then I get it out, soak it in water, and squeeze out all the fluids. Squeeze it out. When you try this out, you're going to find out that spinach is one of the best vegetables in making vegetable soup. For this recipe today, I'm going to be using onion and pepper to season up the meat. And here's a shrimp, bongo fish washed and deboned, 4 tablespoons of crayfish, 5 seasoning cubes. I'll be seasoning up the meat with 2 seasoning cubes and the other 3 seasoning cubes for the soup. Cow leg, tomato, pepper and onion mix, 3 red bell peppers, 1 large onion and 2 habanero pepper. Here you have the goat meat, roasted turkey, mackerel, roasted mackerel. I roasted this mackerel yesterday. So if you want to check out the recipe, my video on how I roasted the mackerel. And this is the spinach and seasoning salt to season the meat. Now we're going to start by boiling the cow leg. I'm going to put in the pepper and onion. Then add the cow leg. I'm going to add water. We're going to add the seasoning cubes, 2 seasoning cubes. And then turn on the heat. I'm gonna let the cow leg cook for 30 minutes before adding the goat meat. I'm gonna check on the cow leg to see how it's cooking. See? It's a little bit soft now, so I'm gonna add the goat meat. I won't be adding too much water, because for vegetable soup you don't need too much water, so the water for the meat shouldn't be too much as well, because you're going to put the stock from the meat inside the soup. So I'm going to let the goat meat and the cow leg cook. before adding the turkey. The meat is tender now, so I'm going to add the roasted turkey. I'm going to mix. Now I'm going to add the bonga fish and the shrimp. I'm going to mix. So the last thing I'm going to add to this is the fish because I don't want it to break apart. So when this is cooked for about 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to add the mackerel. The last thing I'm going to add is the mackerel because I don't want it to break apart. So I'm going to let this cook for 10 to 15 minutes before adding the mackerel. The meat is still cooking. So while it's cooking, I'm going to start frying the stew for the soup. I'm going to add palm oil. So the oil, I'm going to add the tomato, pepper, and onion mix. I'm going to give it a mix and then leave it to cook. I'm going to add the fish now. Here's the fish. I'm going to check on the soup. The meats are cooked. And here's the stew for the soup. So this is the soup. I'm going to add half of the crayfish. And I'll keep the other half for later. So I added half of the crayfish and this is the other half. I'm going to leave it for later. can see that it's dry now. So I'm going to add the vegetable, the spinach. So whatever vegetable you're using that works for you, if it's ugu leaves or kale, you can do the same. It's just the same process. So you're going to put the vegetable at this point. Here's the spinach. I squeezed out the water, but you can still see that I still have some excess water coming out, so I'm going to squeeze it. So this is what you do to enjoy the best out of your spinach. And then I'm going to put it in. So we're just going to keep squeezing out the fluid. Squeeze it out because you don't want it too watery. If you've never tried spinach before, try it. You're gonna like it. If you've not tried spinach with your vegetable soup, you need to try it out. It's one of the best vegetables for vegetable soup. You can see that the spinach really shrinks because I got a lot of spinach when I put it in the freezer and then took out the water. It became so small. Now we're going to mix. I'm going to keep mixing. Look at it. I'm going to let it cook for 2 minutes before adding the meat. I'm going to add the meat to the vegetable now. Now I'm going to add the crayfish I left over, the other half of the crayfish. Now I'm going to add these seasoning cubes, 3 seasoning cubes, and then taste for salt. I don't want the fish to break apart, so stirring with care. Just take a look at this vegetable soup. When you make this for your family, everyone is going to be so happy. It's going to put a smile on everyone's face. The soup is almost ready. The soup is ready now. So I'm going to turn off the heat. The soup is ready now. I'm going to turn off the heat. So here's the vegetable soup. It's ready. And I think the best combination with vegetable soup to me is pounded yam. So here's the pounded yam to go with the vegetable soup. This soup tastes really good. It's really delicious. I hope you try out this recipe on how I make my vegetable soup. You're gonna really like it. Vegetable soup with spinach is a combination made in heaven. Thanks for watching my video on how I make my vegetable soup today. I hope you have an amazing day. God bless you. Bye.